Primarily for our milking cows, so about 250 cows. So the biggest part of sustainability to me, the number one thing is that should be profitable. So how the process would works start to finish is the cow needs to have a baby in order to give milk. And so she'll have her baby, that baby's going to stay with the mother for at least 2 days. And the babies will go off to a calf raising facility to have an individual hutch that they'll be raised in. Since we're a dairy, it's only the girl cows that give us milk. So the boys, on typical, they're sold off to beef raising facilities. But we do keep approximately half, and we raise them for 2 years and sell them as organic grass-fed beef.
So all dairy cows eventually go to the straight.
At some point in time, she's really going to drop off, and so you have to make a business decision at that point. Are you going to keep investing in her, to give milk, or are you going to sell her off again to another dairy or to into the beef industry?
I'll move.
There's very few places on this planet that have this type of thing. Raise that for 2 years and sell them as organic grass-fed beef.
So all dairy cows eventually go to the straight.
At some point in time, she's really going to drop off, and so you have to make a business decision at that point. Are you going to keep investing in her, to give milk, or are you going to sell her off again to another dairy or to into the beef?
They're cleaning them. Look at this.
There's very few places on this planet that have this type of environment. But the demand on dairy-based protein in the world is only going to increase. And there's not enough land on the planet to do this type of dairying around the world. It's just the environment is not going to be that way.
So I guess on a global scale, the conclusion would be dairy is not sustainable.
Unless we start digging up houses and putting pastures back. And the only way to start digging up houses and development is to have less people. But we only know that the population is going to continue to grow. So that means more commercial dairying, sure.
Either that or some lower demand.
Yeah, or some other product's going to take its place. We see there's all sorts of soy milks and almond milk and a lot of other products that are coming out and different blends. Where you take juices and proteins, and I think you'll see a lot more of that.
He was right. How could cow's milk be sustainable? For in 1 gallon of milk, it takes upwards of 1,000 gallons of water to produce. Almost a third of the planet's land is becoming desert, with the vast majority due to livestock grazing. Doing research on grass-fed livestock, I kept coming across the work of Alan Savory. Savory claims that the best way to reverse this desertification is to actually graze more animals. This reminded me of Oceana's saying the best way to help fish is to eat fish. This is the same man during the 1950s working as a research officer for the King Department of what is now Zimbabwe, came up with a theory that actually elephants were the cause of desertification there. And his solution was convincing the government to kill 40,000 elephants. Yet, after 14 years of relentless slaughter, the conditions only got worse. His theory was wrong. The court finally ended, not until tens of thousands of elephants and families were killed. This is not someone I would ever take ecological advice from. It turns out the cattle industry is having the same effect on wildlife in the United States.
The government has been rounding up horses en masse, and we now have more wild horses and burros in government holding facilities, 50,000 wild horses or burros in government holding facilities, and we have 3 on the range. Basically, you have ranchers who get to graze on our public land for a fraction of the going rate. So they're getting like this huge tax subsidy. It's about 1/15 of the going rate. And what the Bureau of Land Management has to do is say how much forage and water is on the land, and then they divvy it up. They give so much to the cows, so much to wildlife, and so much to the wild horses and burros. And what we see is the lion's share of the forage and water is going to the livestock industry. And then they scapegoat the horses and burros because oh, there's too many horses and burros. I always tell people that wild horses and burros is just one of the victims of the management of our public lands for livestock because we're often seeing the predator killing going on. We know wolves are now being targeted by ranchers to get rid of wolves. USDA has kids, and all they do is aerial scanning of predators. So all a rancher does is call and say, I've got coyote here. They'll come over and they'll shoot the coyote, or they'll shoot the mountain lion, or they'll shoot the bobcat. And this is all for ranchers.
In Washington State, after cattle were found to be attacked on public lands, so they're grazing the permit, Washington State decided to kill the entire wedge pack of wolves. And those wolves were not introduced, they had in-migrated from Canada, but they're no longer there.
It starts at the local level with the Bureau of Land Management, but then it goes all the way to Congress. And we see Congress, sitting there willing to allow this type of mismanagement of our public lands to continue.
It is the insistence of and the lobbying power of the animal agriculture industry that continues to see wolves killed, continues to see an insistence that predators be maintained at a low level that does not benefit ecosystems.
I've seen so many.
You can't do what? You're lowering your head.
From the Bureau of Land Management, where they say the rangelands are not meeting the standards. And they straight up livestock raising the cause for not meeting range standards, and yet they will continue to allow livestock raising.
They're at the very core making sure that cougars are treated by hounds and the wolf packs are run down and that hunting seasons are opened up year-round and traps are set so that they can suffer.
If anyone cares about wild horses and wildlife and public lands and the environment, you can't ignore the livestock.